Maayong buntag sa atong Vice Presidente, ang Mayor Baste, o sa Duterte family, sa atong mga congressman, labi na kay Omar, kay Harold, kay Lian de Biste, kag ari akong amigo nga si Kiko Barsaga, kag tanan diri, assalamualaikum. Sa mga taga Davao, nawa pa kailan ako, this is not the first, kailan mo na ako? Wa man dagang kailang, Bisaya man ko. Pero Ilongga gid ako. Pero kay sa Dumaguete man ko nag-high school niya ang akong mga paryente dagang kay kumpirente Bisaya. That's why Cebuano pud ko. Dagang mga Guanson sa Cebu. The first time I met Rodrigo Duterte was a historical event. We campaigned for President Cory Aquino against Marcos and his warlords. Your Lola Soling was then our leader here in Davao. Hindi ka pa na tao, Omar. So, ang officer in charge diri as Vice Mayor si Rodrigo Duterte. Ako ang officer in charge, Mayor sa Cadiz City, Negros Occidental. I was 27 years old. But like Rodrigo Duterte, I was used to gangsters and private armies, and ang mga komunista, taggan kayo sa Negros sa una kay Sugar man me. Sugar man me. Ako may nag-vice president for the Visayas dito sa City, League of Cities, kaya wa may musugot, kay hadlok man sila tanan mo adtong Mindanao. So ako ilang gipili, I was 27 years old, gipaadto ko nila dire kay Digong. That's the first time I met this man that everybody was talking about. And I said, I want to meet this Rodrigo Duterte, so I will go. Mag-bulletproof vest ka, Mayor. Magganyan ka. Ano mo mag-bulletproof vest? Si andun si Digong. Kailangan ka ba mag-bulletproof vest nga naana siya dito? So I came here. That's the first time I met him with June Basco. I remember this meeting clearly because we were building a new nation. We were building a new democracy. We toppled warlords in Mindanao and in the Visayas, our very own Armin Gustilo. But here was Rodrigo Duterte, a lawyer, a former fiscal, and son of Tia Soleng, who stood against the Marcoses here and all their warlords. So I came to meet him. 27 anyos lang ko, niyan siya, Mayor. Kadungog ko nga, kanang imong pusil, mao mo na yung pinakamahal nga pusil sa kalibutan. He did not ask me any question. He just asked me about the gun I was carrying. So I said, this man is after my own heart. Because instead of talking about politics, he asked me to see my gun. At that time, I was carrying, yes, the most expensive handgun in the world. It was called an HK-P7. At that time, very hard to get that. Yun lang ang hiningi niya sa akin, na makita niya lang yung baril na yan na sinasabi, yan daw ang pinakamahal na pusil sa bilog na kalibutan. And that's when I said, ini nga tao ni, this man is going to be a very strong leader of the nation someday. And wala yun ko nagsala. Kay as I looked at his career, we met again. We met again on paper in the Commission on Elections, Vice President. Rodrigo Duterte, Mayor of Davao, was substituting for Dino. The problem with the certificate of candidacy was Dino signed the candidacy for Mayor of Pasay, not President of the Philippines. And therefore, there was a technicality, and somebody objected. The case was raffled to me. Prior to that, the case of Grace Poe was raffled also to me, and I disqualified Grace Poe on the ground that as a foundling, she was not natural born, and therefore could not run for President of the Philippines. Here comes Rodrigo Duterte. Substitute siyang Dinyo. Unsa naman ni si Dinyo ay nagpirma naman tong certificate of candidacy nga mayor sa Pasay may gibutang dito. God bless his soul. Di ba? The case again was ruffled to me. So again, Rodrigo Duterte and I met on paper. Now remember, I was appointed Commissioner of COMELEC and was chair of that division. I was appointed on recommendation of Liberal Party members. I was not, in PC, I had no party. I was before that Commissioner of COA, professor in the UP College of Law, practicing lawyer, and former consultant, chief of staff of Miriam Santiago. I called my division commissioners to a meeting and said, first I called my father, who was a judge, and summa cum laude of Siliman, that's why I speak Cebuano. I said, I have a problem. Duterte's candidacy is for mayor. He said, what happened? It's like this, like this, like that. Where did he file it? I said, yes, he filed it in COMELEC. Is it not that when you run for mayor, you file it in Pasay City? I said, yes. But he filed it in Manila. He said, therefore, the intent of that Dinyo was to run for president, not for mayor of Pasay. As usual, my father, Judge Sixto Rojas Guanzon, summa cum laude of Silliman University, was correct. So I called a meeting and I said, our job in the Commission on Elections is to ensure that the will of the people will be respected. No politician called me after that. I said it is our job to ensure that the election laws are applied fairly and justly, and that therefore the people must be given their right to choose the president of this land. And all of you lawyers will know that I needed an argument to support that decision. And the argument that I used is, of course, in Latin, lacuna legis. There is a gap in the law. There is a gap in the law and therefore needed interpretation. And when you interpret a gap in the law, you must interpret it in favor of the people. In favor of the people. Not against the people. And so when I called my commissioners and said, this is my decision, how will you vote? And they said, ma'am, we vote with you. You vote with me regardless of the consequences. Remember, President Aquino was seated in Malacanang. There were candidates of the Liberal Party, and I said, I know that man. I know that Rodrigo Duterte we have met. I trust, I have faith in the people. I have faith in the Filipino people that they will choose the right leader. And that, my friends, is the reason why I'm here. And on a final word, I have to tell you, bakit si Rowena Guanzon nga dilawan man na? Dilawan man na! Kaning tao direho nga sigig sabok-sabok na ako. Itsa, dilawan man ka nga nung gadul-dul man kang Bibisara karon. Ayaw na yun si Bibisara. Ayaw na lang naghisgutan kay karon ang kinahanlan mo daog yun si Sara for president. Kung dilaw ka, kung pulaw ka, kung pink ka, kung blue ka, kung sa wala na minimo kaakig. Wala kami kaakig sa inyo. Upod na lang kita diritanan kay Sara para sa aton pungsod. Kaya kung hindi si Sara Duterte ang magpresidente, walang mananagot. Kaya si Rowena Guanzon magsasara Duterte. Kasi Sara Duterte lang ang presidente na kung siya ang manalo, may mananagot. Ilang taon ako sa politika. Sa tiyan pa lang na nanay ko, 67 years old na ako ngayon. Politiko na ako. Board member man nanay ko, 33 years. Wala pa ako nakita ng gobyerno na ganito. Puro ka magnanakaw. Mga kawatan. Ang kailangan ng Pilipinas, reforma. Zero corruption. Zero tolerance. That is why, this early, I already commit my support to you, Vice President Sara Duterte. Whether I run for senator or not, I am going to campaign, as I am campaigning now, for Sara Duterte, who will be the next President of the Philippines. O sa mga Bisaya, mga Ilonggo, mga Waray, sa Visayas, kabalo na makamutanan, nga ang Negros Occidental, wala yun aga Marcos ever since because gi-bankrupt niya na niya during martial law. My family, he confiscated our electric plant. All families were confiscated. Ang sugar, monopolize ang sugar trading. So we had to stop planting. Our people starved because we had to stop planting. Why will we plant if we're going to lose money? Now Marcos Bongbong is doing it again. He is smuggling sugar. That's why our sugar prices from Negros Occidental are down. Down by more than 600 pesos per kilo bag. You know what that means? That means hundreds, thousands of workers will be out of jobs in the next 2 years if this continues. Smuggling of sugar, smuggling of fuel. Smuggling of fuel is now going on in our borders. Marcos wants us to feel that he is the one solving our problems, when in fact, it is Marcos who created all these problems. Ang gutom, ang unemployment, high inflation, trade deficit, budget deficit, kaya pangawat na sa tanang buhaya ang atong deficit. That's why, my friends, I am putting my faith on Sara Duterte for president. Because I see only that Sara Duterte, even with her quiet, calm demeanor, has the strength of character and the integrity to be our leader and run our country from the bottom up. Wala na tayong mamanahin kay Marcos. Puro utang, puro pangawat. We need a leader that will rise from these ashes and lead us back into a bright day. My friends, it is my honor to be in Davao City again, to be with the family of Rodrigo Duterte, and to wish him a happy birthday despite his circumstances, and to show my support for Vice President Sara Duterte for 2028. Daghang salamat, mayong buntag sa inyong tanan.
Thank you very much, Attorney Guanzon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us hear another word from one of our guests joining us this morning. To say a few words, let us welcome from the Duterte Youth Party List, Miss...
come in front and share a few messages from for the Davaoenos.
Mayong buntag, Davao! Bakit naman nung tinawag ako, ang tawag nyo sa message ko, short message? Parang may gusto yata kayong sabihin. Anyway, alam nyo po, I'm happy to be here. Nagkakasiyahan po tayo sa kaarawan ni Tatay Digong. Samahan nyo ko sa isang birthday greetings. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Tatay Digong! Happy lakas! Happy birthday! Tatay Digong! Ngunit sa gitna po ng ating kasiyahan ay nagluluksa po tayo. Kaya kung makikita nyo po, may mga tao rito na nakasuot ng itim. Nagluluksa tayo sapagkat kinidnap, kinulong ang ating mahal na Tatay Digong. Anong kasalanan niya? Inubos niya ang mga adik sa Pilipinas. Binaba niya ang kriminalidad. Nilabanan niya ang korupsyon. Siya ang nakakulong. yung mga tumanggap ng male-maleta, yung mga nagpayaman, sila ngayon ang namamayagpag. Kaya't magluksa rin po tayo, hindi lamang para kay Tatay Digong, ngunit para sa ating bayang inaapi. Bakit? Dahil ang rule of law po ay naghihingalo na. Yung Blue Ribbon Committee na dapat siyang nag-iimbestiga ng anomalya, nung palapit na sa pintuan ng Malacanang ang investigasyon, pinalitan si Marcoleta. Nilagay ang isang senador na walang bayag. Ayaw imbestigahan, puro cover up. Siya na ang nagiging defense lawyer. Yung ating ombudsman na pinakahuling sumbungan ng anomalya, sinong nilagay nila? Tuta ng Malacanang! Ipinilit! Binraso! Kitang-kita! Tutang-tuta, puppet na puppet nila. Ang ating mga mambabatas na dapat sila ang nagsasabi ng tinig ng ating mga taong bayan, the House of the People daw. Siyempre, hindi kasama si Congressman Ungab doon sa mga ungas. Ito Ungab, yung marami doon ungas. Anong ginagawa sa gitna ng krisis? Anong inaatupag? Impeachment! Hindi lang impeachment, yung rule of law, binabaluktot. Katulad niyan, si Luistro, si De Lima, ang papangit ng sinasabi. Magaganda naman sila, di ba? Lalo na si De Lima, kaya nga, ang daming naloko sa kanyang lalaki. Puro pagbaluktot ng batas. Hindi naman, wala naman sa saligang batas ginagawa. Anong gusto nila? Para siraan ang ating pangalawang Pangulo. Yang si Sedanya, tabingi! Ang katuwiran! Ang katuwiran! Hindi pa tapos eh. Kaya tayo po, huwag tayong matatakot, mga kasama. Solid tayo dito sa Davao at I assure you, kita niyo yung mga nandito, Congressman Leviste, Batangas, Cavite, ang pugad ng revolusyon, Kiko Barsaga, nandito ang Duterte Youth Party List, Harold Respicio, Ilocano, nandito si Atty. Vic Rodriguez, na dismaya rin sa corruption sa Marcos administration, humiwalay na, tumiwalag na sa kanila. Tayo po ay solid at alam nyo po, sana lang, ito lang ang pagtatapos ko. Sana, alam nyo yung iba po sa ating mga kababayan, kaya hindi lang gugulo. Sila po ay may pinanghahawakan sila na sa 2028 ay magkakaroon na naman ng tunay na pagbabago. Pag tinanggal nila yan, pag disqualify nila ang pangalawang Pangulo para tumakbong Pangulo, maghahalo ang balat sa tinalupan kasi wala na tayong aasahan. Ayan, inciting to sedition na naman ang kaso ko dyan. Dadagdag. At bilang panghuli po, mga kasama, huwag po tayong pabubudol. Nabudol na tayo doon kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. Nabudol na tayo kay Rizzo Ontiveros na inendorso ni Vice President Sara. May mga tao po dyan na nagkukunwari, Duterte daw sila. Tingnan yung history nila. Anong sinasabi nila noon laban kay Pangulong Duterte? Anong sinasabi nila laban kay VP Sara? Pinahirapan nila ang Duterte Youth Party List. Pagkatapos, magsisiksik dito, Duterte daw siya. Wow naman. Wala akong sinasabi, ha? Wala akong sinasabi. Hindi ako magbabanggit ng pangalan. Pero, yun lamang po, magpakatatag tayo. Huwag tayong susuko. Huwag tayong pabubudol. Sa 2028, magsawa tayo sa tagumpay. Ito po si Atty. Ferdy Topacio, matapang na tao. Walang kinakatakutan, asawa ko lamang. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang Davao. Mabuhay si Presidente Duterte. Mabuhay ang susunod na Presidente Duterte. Mabuhay ang pamilya Duterte. Mabuhay lahat ng mga kabayang lumalaban sa pangapi. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Daghang salamat.
Kami ang boses ng masa, hindi natatakot. Katotohanan lang, di kami nalulunod. Walang bahid ng sismis, lahat ay totoo. sino ka pa. Pag mali ka, babanatan ka. Walang pinipili kulay, wala kaming kinikilingan. Basta para sa bayan, kami lalaban. Pag tama palapakan, pag mali banatan. Di matitinag, di matatakot, para sa bayan tuloy ang sigaw. Sa harap ng kamera, walang halong takot. Mga baluktot, lahat kayo'y tutumba. Ang hustisya at totoo, yun lang ang mahalaga. Kahit sinong harang, di kami matitinag. Walang pinipiling kulay, wala kaming kinikilingan. Basta para sa bayan, kami lalaban. Pag tama palapakan, pag mali banatan. Di matitinag, di matatakot, para sa bayan tuloy ang sigaw. Kung nasa tama ka, ikaw ay aming kasama. Pero pag mali ka, handa ka na bang mabasag? Banateros kami, walang inuunan. Dahil bayan muna, bago ang sarili.